Hello, and just want to say congratulations on getting access to this video course on how to start your own WordPress membership site. So here's a quick videos overview of what we're going to talk about in this course. So that way you get a bird's eye view of how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. Now, this is obviously video number 1, and we'll talk about what you need in order to get started after the slide after this. Video number 2, we'll talk about mapping out your membership site funnel. In other words, how do you take that wonderful idea of yours and make it happen? So a lot of people make the mistake of jumping in, trying to figure out the technical aspect, and just getting frustrated, not knowing what the next step is. So that is why we are going to map it out. So we're going to take a little bit of brainstorming, and then we're going to map it out into a flow chart so that you can see what step 1, step 2, step 3, and so forth is, and that way you're not going to get lost. Then in video number 3, we'll talk about which WordPress membership plugin you should use. Now, obviously, we're going to be covering the WooCommerce platform and the WooCommerce memberships extension that will be a plugin on top of WooCommerce. Video number 4, we'll talk about how do you take that plugin, get access to it, install it, and of course getting started by configuring the settings. Video number 5, we'll talk about how you can go about creating different membership levels. So as you know, different membership sites are different. Some have free levels and paid levels, maybe 2, a free and a paid, and some might have a free, a paid, and a premium level. So it doesn't really matter how many levels you want. At the end of the day, we're just going to show you how to create different levels that will give your customers or prospects access to different parts of your website to get them to want to actually upgrade to the higher level. And of course, in video number 6, we'll talk about creating products and of course, pricing your products within the WooCommerce store. In other words, you're going to be able to connect the memberships and into an actual product. So if somebody buys that product, they can get access to that specific membership level. And of course, last but not least, video number 7, we'll talk about testing. How do you go about making sure that you have everything correct, it's going to work, and you've spent all that time and it actually works. All right, so getting started, here's what you're going to need. We assume that you already have a WordPress site created already. So we're not going to go into the detail of how to install your WordPress site. So assuming that you already have that WordPress site created already, you're going to definitely need money to purchase WordPress plugins. Now, the WooCommerce membership plugin is around about $200. Now, that could increase or decrease depending on which way WooCommerce decides to go. Now, I want to say a lot of times WooCommerce will come out with special deals. So sometimes they'll come out with 40% off whenever they do like a big release, or you can see like Black Friday or different special holidays. So just bear that in mind that you can save a lot of money if you keep an eye out. Now, of course, WooCommerce platform, the plugin is free, so you don't have to pay any money for that. Now, you might be thinking, well, are there any free membership plugins out there? Yes, there are, but at the end of the day, we've tested some of those and we found that many of them are just not useful. They don't have the features that you need to scale, to build a long-term business. So in other words, free is not the best way to build your long-term business. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, and we're going to take your wonderful idea of your membership site and of course map it out. So I'm going to do a little bit of brainstorming to give you some ideas, especially if you don't know where to start, you don't really have an idea of what your membership site should look like. Or maybe you do, and if that's the case, that's great. So if you do, what I want you to do, of course, is just write down the steps. If you don't, let me give you some ideas. So as you can imagine with a membership site, where I briefly talked about it in the previous video, a lot of times they have different levels. So the free level oftentimes will give people access to content, But if they want access to maybe videos or access to a community, then they have to pay another level. So maybe the free level is down below, and then you have a level on top of that, which is maybe $47 a month, or you could do a one-time fee. Now, bear in mind, if you do a monthly fee, you're going to need to have WooCommerce subscriptions, which is another extension. So to keep it simple, we're just going to do one-time fees. So you could charge someone $197 to get the next level. So maybe the next level is access to a Facebook group, other content, and then maybe you have a level on top of that. Now, obviously, you want to keep it as simple as possible. So what I would recommend that you do is do a free level and then do a paid level on top of that. Let's map that out. So we have a membership site, and I like to put it on the top here just so we can see. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that it stands out like that. All right. So we're going to put this, and we're going to call this a visitor. So they're not a customer yet. We have to convert them from a visitor or a prospect into a customer. Or in other words, we have to gain their trust. So in order to do that, a lot of times you will have to give them content or something in exchange for their time. So something free, something that is valuable, something normally that they would have to pay money for, but you're going to give that away for free. So free content. So we'll call this free level. Lots of great content. So in terms of WordPress, that could mean maybe 5 to 10 pages worth of really good content. And it doesn't have to be 5 to 10. It doesn't have to be a specific number. Just as long as you give enough value to make them think, wow, you've given me enough value. What do you offer beyond that, right? So we have the visitor here. We send them to the free level, and they're just extremely impressed to the point that they ask the question, which is, what's next, right? And what's next, in this case, is we'll call it the premium level, which in terms of technicalities, it's just the second level above the free level. And this gives people access to all of the content. So all of the pages. So they even get access to the free level. So this level is actually a lot easier to create because all you have to say is give access to pretty much the whole site. So give access to all of the pages. Maybe you have community, it could be a Facebook group, it could be a community that's built into the WordPress site, and there's many different avenues that you could take. But to simplify things, I would recommend a Facebook group. So that's what's next. All right. Now we need to figure out what is the price going to be. So maybe before we connect the dots here, let's say that the premium level, and I can put this down here. The price is going to be $197. All right. Now I'm going to make the font a little bit bigger so that you can see. All right, so we'll go not too big. There we go. Now, this tool that I'm using, just to let you know, it's called lucidchart.com. It's lucid, L-U-C-I-D, chart, which is C-H-A-R-T.com. This tool, it does cost a little bit of money per month. It's not that much, but it's in my opinion, one of the best tools. So what I like about it is we can actually make colors. So let's say that the levels are going to be green. So this level is green and then this level is green, so that I have an idea. So the price is going to be here. And we're going to write create products. So we're going to need to create one product within WooCommerce, which I'll show you how to do in this particular section. So let's see. It's visitor and what's next. So I could actually just change the color for these two. Instead of green, we could just do something like light blue. So that way we have an idea that these are actually connected. So that is pretty much what our mind map is going to look like. So let me explain from start to finish. So we got the visitor, he or she comes to the site. They can then sign up, get access to the free level, lots of great content, whatever pages that you want. Then they're so impressed that they want to know what's next. Then you have a sales page and you say, hey, if you want more content and get access to the community so that you can get help whenever you need it, and then you send them to here, and if they buy that, then they get access to this. So that's essentially what the process is. So now that you know the process, taking that knowledge and taking this information and implementing it into the technical aspect of it is actually going to be a lot easier. Now, some of you might want to get more complex. You might say, well, I want to do 197 and maybe I'll give them access, one-on-one access to me, maybe a coaching level on the third tier. So if you were to do that, obviously you would just copy this and then you would tack it on. So maybe you could have something $197 a month or $97 a month, one-on-one coaching, or $500 a month, one-on-one coaching. Regardless of what it is, it's just the same process. Now, like I said earlier, if you do a subscription, you're gonna need to have WooCommerce subscriptions, which I'll talk about in a little bit more depth in the next video. So with that said, let's move on to video number 3. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3, and we're going to talk about the different WordPress membership plugins that are available to you. So that way you have an idea of the different options that you have. Now, just to be clear, like I said earlier, this video course is going to be surrounding WooCommerce. And the reason being is because WooCommerce, in my opinion, is one of the best e-commerce platforms out there. So we want to make sure that we cover a variety of different people. So you might have physical products, right, with a membership site, or you might have a digital membership site. So we want to make sure that we cover as many different bases as possible. Now with WooCommerce, like I said, the main platform is free, but under extensions, if you go to extensions and you click on all and you scroll down, you're going to see Woo subscriptions, which you're really only going to need if you charge a monthly fee. Now, if you do what most memberships do, which is charge a one-time fee, then you would simply go with this. So if you click this, you'll get an idea of what it can do for you. Now, in terms of pricing, it's actually very competitive compared to a lot of the other ones that I'm going to show you in just a minute. So you can create different levels. You can see that you can sell and assign memberships. So you can restrict content. You can do a silver membership, a gold membership, and maybe a premium platinum membership. So you can see that you can grant access to specific content, specific posts, different pages, different categories. So now that you know with a free level, you have maybe 5 different pages. If that's the case, then all you have to do is specify which pages right here. So what I recommend that you do is just go down here and make sure that everything that you see here is going to fit your long-term needs. So can you think of it as you're going to be able to expand, you're going to be able to scale this business down the road, months or even years. So as you can see, you can import or export members, which is a great feature to have. You can communicate with your members and much more. So you can go there and just check it out yourself, but you are going to definitely need this plugin right here and the free WooCommerce plugin as well. And we'll show you how to get all that installed. The next one is called MemberPress. That's memberpress.com. So this is another WordPress membership plugin, and it's very feature rich. So it can do just about anything that you want it to do. So just scroll down here to kind of give you an idea. You can see that it can integrate into a variety of different payment gateways like Stripe, like PayPal, and of course different autoresponders such as ConvertKit, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, and different help desk systems like Help Scout. So you can see all the integrations down here. But if we go over here and click on features, you can get a better idea of the different options that you have. So you can see it's easy to set up. We've got premium community forums. So if you want to have that second level to be maybe a community and you don't want to use Facebook, you want to have everything centralized on your WordPress site, then this would be the way to go. So we've got coupons, and that's another thing with WordPress, you do have a lot of features built in, but with MemberPress, some of these will have a little bit more feature rich. But of course, as you'll see in a minute, you'll have to pay a little bit more money. So we have stability, you can drip content. So in other words, you could, if you have like a series and they have to watch course 1 before they get to course 2, you can drip feed it. So you can drip it like this month and then course 2 with next month and so forth and so on. So just go here and take a look and see if that suits you. Now, if you go to the top here and we go to pricing, you can see that the basic level is about $149. You can use it on one site, which is just enough. You can do PayPal and Stripe, and you get about 10 add-ons. So you want to check out those add-ons and see if they actually fit what you need. The $249 version, you can see it operates on 2 sites. It works with Authorize.net, which is a credit card payment processor. And as you can see, it has different add-ons. And over here, the main difference looks like it has an affiliate program. The third plugin that we recommend is called Paid Memberships Pro. And this one actually is very feature rich. So you can kind of get an idea. You can do unlimited levels. They've got 6 different payment gateways that you can integrate with. Now, they do have a free level, so you might want to check that out yourself as well if you're really on a tight budget and just see if that fits you. But for the most part, what we found is in terms of scalability, you kind of want to find something that really fits you. Because if you start with free and you go here, you start with free and that's just what you need, and then you see yourself expanding, that's totally fine as well. So those are the 3 different WordPress membership plugins that are available to you. With that said, let's move on to the next video. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 4, and I'm going to show you step by step how to get everything set up. So we talked about in the previous first things first, you are going different membership sites to have access to free levels before you even have think about installing on top of the free level membership, or some plugin don't even have. So to do that is fairly simple, and they simply all you have to do is simply go to plugins. So regardless of what the situation is, I'm going to show you how to create. Then you need to go to the search plugins, and so to do that, once you've installed the WooCommerce membership plugin or extension, you simply go. It'll take a second to load, as you see here. Click on, and this is what it is. Now I'm showing you a members live membership e-commerce import and export that actually uses the members is simply going to list. So we already have that installed, but if you're starting from scratch, you're simply going to click the install. Now, if you go under membership plans, you'll be able to see the different plans that you have created. Then, of course, after it and you'll simply installs it, you'll have to activate it. So we're going to click on. There will be add blue button plan that says activate, and you can simply click that. And here we go. Now, once you're done, what you want to do is walk you through the step-by-step the WooCommerce. So let's say, for example, that you want to create a free level. You want to go straight to settings. Free level 2. And the reason being is that I already have a free level. Is simply in this going to show you the products, and the orders are going to show you free, kind of like the reports. The coupons allows you to create coupons. Now I'm going to zoom in memberships just a bit so that you can see all of these will most likely not really be needed until you actually launch the site. So if you go to settings here, you'll end up landing. So under general, you have the now under the general tab. Simply it's pretty much like the permanent self-explanatory. It'll be URL, like what your address. So you're going to see something like free dash or not. So you could you got basically take this title here, put it here, just put dashes. So you can specify. So that's not as shop page. Now you can specify the add to cart behavior. Now it gives you different options. So, for example, either redirect to manual assignment only, and what that means is that when somebody creates an account to the cart, you can redirect you yourself as the administrator. Now I have that unchecked because what if somebody wants to purchase, or you can grant access upon user, and then when you redirect them, so you can have a form where somebody simply fills it out. That feature is there. They become just a member. Now, ideally, that would be the best case. You have a membership site and you only have level 1. Now, in terms of a pay level, good for that would be a little bit. Then, of course, you go to payments, and that would be in connection allows you the video after this one, which I'll show you how to create gateways that you want to connect. But now we have it connected to Stripe. I would choose a credit card membership length is simply the length that they have direct access to. So if you want to give them access only for a month, delivery, you could do that and more. There's fixed amount of dates. So all you have to do is once you enable that, you give them unlimited access, and you can simply follow the instructions of your site, and which would be unlimited. So once that's done, you can go to restrict privacy content. So I'm actually going to go through this later on. Now, this just allows you to, when we create a pay level, I'll show you. So for example, that you'll need checkout. So for now, for a free level, place orders. This is what I would do. Without in terms of restrict content, or you can allow customers. There are no rules yet to click below to add one. So this content can be viewed by all visitors that you want to create, and you can add a rule for your customers to restrict it. So think carefully about your in other words, when you do this. If you have those, then of course 5 to 10 emails, pages, which are the automatic emails you want to only give people access to those 5 to 10 they get an email that says you would simply add them here. Here's access to your product, add new rule. Or if it's a physical product, and you would go, we got your post transaction, and we are about to ship whatever you want to do. And then, so if we were to do pages, advanced, and memberships, because this is a free level, you want to specify which pages they have access to. We're really going to focus on. So you would simply type in. So once you've installed WooCommerce, now if you don't want to give them access to certain items, WooCommerce.com, put that item here. Purchase the only reason why you would ever leave this blank is if you want people to have access. Installing is easy. I already have it installed here on your site. You simply do so again with free levels that I showed you earlier. Not really. You go to the plugins page. So you want. But in this case, you're going to actually upload. So once you're done, you simply click on. So you'll go click on publish, and you'll choose the file. As you can see, they have pages. Download the files, forums, discussions. Somewhere you need to find that. Courses, lessons, top install. Now the reason why I have, of course, you click activate is because I use LearnDash, which is a different plugin which allows you to. So if we go back to WooCommerce, so if you don't have that plugin, most likely you're not going to see this. You're simply going to see pages and posts. and maybe a few things
now,
like
these
categories.
are not the settings,
so keep that in
terms of creating a
now,
plan.
accessible
Well, I'll
allows
show
you
you that in just a minute.
Basically,
But
say,
these are mainly
when do they
just
get access
the
to these
global
items? Do they
settings.
get access to them?
So, for example, redirect members upon login,
or
you can redirect them,
let's say, to the members
so
area.
maybe you want to
or
drip
to a very
feed your
specific
content.
page. If you
or
want to do that,
simply
you'll need to figure out
the
what pages
redirect.
they have access to.
So if you want to
and, of
redirect
course,
people
when
to
they should
say
have access. Maybe
so
a community
maybe you want
page
them to
or
come in,
an announcements page.
maybe you have a trial,
and you want people to
let's say
see that
for
first,
$1
for the first 7
access
days.
anything else,
And then
this
after
is a
the
good
7
option to
days,
have.
you could
So
charge them a different
we're not going
fee.
to check
So
any of these.
Basically,
We're gonna go
all
and
this
create
means
a
is you can
membership
drip
plan.
feed your content.
Hello and welcome
So
back.
that's restrict
This is video
content.
number
Restrict
4.
products,
and
on the
I'm
other
going to show you
hand,
step
is
by
a little
step
bit how
very
to get
similar
everything
but a little
set
bit
up.
different.
Okay, so first things first,
Products
you
are
going
basically
to
whatever
have
you add
access
to your
WooCommerce
WooCommerce shop.
before.
So
you
if
even
you've
think
added,
about installing,
let's say,
the
a premium level
plugin
to your shop,
so to do that is
or
fairly
let's say
simple.
you have a
all you have
different
to do
product
is simply
of some
go to
sort,
plugins.
then you can give them
click on
access
add
to
new,
those products.
and you'll see this screen.
Now, if you leave them blank, they're going to have access
then
to all
you
the
need
products,
to go to
and
the
that's
search
not what you
plugins
want.
and type
So
in
if you're going to do like a free level and then a
Commerce.
paid level on top of that,
I don't think
so
you're
it'll
really
take
going
a
to
second
need
to load
any of this.
as you
In
see
fact,
here,
we can
and
simply
this is what
delete
it is.
Selected.
Now I'm showing
So
you
that
a
here,
live e-commerce
and we don't need that.
site.
Next
that
up, we
actually
have
uses
the
WooCommerce.
purchasing discounts.
So we already have that installed.
Now, what this
but
means
if you're
is
starting
this
from
gives
scratch,
your
you're simply going
customers,
to click the
if they're on the free
install
level,
now
a discount.
button. You
Kinda
can
like this one over
specify,
here.
I want to give them a 10%
And then, of course,
off
after
on
it
all of my products.
installs it, you'll have
So
to
you can do
activate
that.
it. So
And then maybe
there
the
will be
paid
a
level,
blue
you could give
button
them a higher
that says
percent of
activate,
discount
and you can
off.
simply click
It's really
that.
up to you.
Now, once you're
depending on
done, what you
want
to do is,
so if you click
you're
on
gonna
add
see
new
the
discount,
WooCommerce
you
over
can
here.
select
So
all the products
from
if you
here,
leave it blank,
or
you want
certain
to go
products.
straight
And of
to
course,
settings.
type
And the
in
reason
the
being
amount
is that the
percentage that they
dashboard
get
is
discounted,
simply or
gonna
the
show
dollar
you
amount.
the products, the
Next
orders
up,
are going
we
to
have
show
members
you
area.
kind of like the reports.
Now,
The
members
coupons
area,
allows
as you can
to create
see, is a
coupons
portion
and,
of
course,
the My
memberships
Accounts
and
page
customers.
that
So
shows
all of
the
these
member
will
list
most likely
of available content,
not really be
product
needed
discounts
until
until you
notes.
actually launch.
Now down
the
here
site.
it has an
so if you go to
explanation
settings
of what
here,
that is. So content
you'll
will
end up
show all
landing
pages
over here.
Post and other
Now under the
content.
general tab, it's
Products will
pretty
show
much,
products that are
self-explanatory.
viewable
It'll
and
be
purchasable.
things like your
Discounts
address
and notes
and
whether
manage.
you're going to do
So
shipping
what this
or
is
not.
saying is that the
You
members
got
area
products over here.
What do they have access to? So include
So
the
you
following.
can specify
In terms of a
your
free
shop
level,
page,
I wouldn't really
you can
include
specify
all
the
the
add to
items.
cart
So I would
behavior.
probably delete.
So
the majority
for example,
of these,
redirect
except
to the cart
for maybe
page
products
after
because I want
successful
them to
addition.
purchase.
So when somebody
the
adds
premium
something
level
to the cart,
and
you
if
can
I want to give them
redirect
access
to
to
the
the
cart
discounts,
page.
I can.
Now I have that
put
unchecked
notes
because
and
what if
manage.
somebody wants to
Next up, we
purchase
have the
more
email
than one
content.
item?
And then
which
when you
simply
redirect
allows
them
you
to
just
the cart
to
page,
configure
it just becomes
how
annoying.
you're going to
But
email people.
that feature is
Now
there.
you're not going to see
just in
WP
case you
Fusion.
have
That just happens to be on this
few,
website,
or
which
you
is
have a membership
sort
site
of like
and you only
Zapier
have
or
one level.
Zapier.
So that would be good for
website,
that.
which basically connects.
Then of course you go to
different apps
payments
together. So you're not going to
and
see
payments
that. You're
allows
simply
you
going
to
to
specify
this
the different payment
right
gateways.
here.
So
that
that's all you
want
would
to
have to
connect
do
to.
in terms
Now,
of
we have it
creating
connected
a membership
to Stripe,
plan.
which is
now
a
let's
credit
talk about
card
a paid
billing system
membership.
Now they have direct bank.
So if we go back to
transfer,
the top,
check
and
payments, cash
let's
on
say we do
delivery,
premium,
PayPal, and more.
And
so all you
we're
have to
gonna
do
say
is once
that
you've
this
enabled
is
that, you click manage, and you can
$97.
simply
One-time
follow
fee.
the instructions and connect the two.
So
and
once
have
that's done, you can go to
access
accounts and
to-
privacy.
Maybe we'll call it the all access.
Now,
apps.
this just allows you to create
So they have access
the
to pretty much
experience.
everything.
So, for example,
the slug
checkout.
we could just
You
do
can allow
something like
customers to
premium
place
level,
orders with
grant
grant
access
access
upon,
upon, or
product
you can allow
purchase.
customers
So
to log in.
what
to
we
an
need to
existing
do is we're
account.
going to need to create a
So
product.
It really
and then
depends on
click the product here.
experience.
So
that
it's
you wanna
kind of a little bit
create
reverse
for your
in
customers.
its case.
So think
in the
carefully
video, in the
about
next
your
video, I'm going to show you how to
customers when
create
you
a
do
product.
this.
But
Then,
once
of
you
course,
create that
we have
product, and you
emails,
can come
which
back
are
over
the
here,
automatic
and you can
emails
then
that are
select
sent
that
out,
product.
such
So
as
basically,
if
what you're
somebody
saying
purchases
is they
grant
get an email that
access
says congratulations
to this.
Here's
specific
access to
premium
your
level plan
product if
or
they
if it's a
purchase physical
purchase
product, you could
that
say
specific
we
product.
got your
All right?
transaction, and
So
you're
you're
going to
about
need to
to ship out.
specify that.
And then, of course,
Membership
we have
length,
integration,
unlimited, advanced,
restrict
content,
and memberships.
Because
so
these
these
are
are
not
the
premium
premium
level
level
and
and
people
people
get access to everything, you
We're really
can
going to
simply
focus on this one over
say
here.
pages.
So once you've installed
blank.
WooCommerce, the next thing, of course, is to go
and
to
of course leave that
WooCommerce.com.
So if you
purchase
would
the
do that,
membership plugin,
you would simply
download
click
it and of
Add
course
New
install
Rule.
it. Installing is easy. I already
And
have
you
it
do something
installed
like
here,
post
but you simply
and
do
leave
the
that
same
blank.
thing.
So that
I
way
showed
people
you
have
earlier.
access to
You go to the plugins
pretty much
page,
everything.
But in this case,
Now, in terms
you're
of
gonna
restrict
actually
products,
upload the
unless
plugin.
you really
so you'll
have
go click
a
on
product
upload,
that is higher
you'll
level,
choose the file. So
I
in
don't
other words,
really
if you
see
download
any
the files
need to have
somewhere,
because
you
we're
need to
not
find
on the
that,
free level
you pick the
anymore.
file, you
We're
click
now
install
on the paid
level,
and then
or
of course you
premium
click
level, or
activate.
the highest level.
And of course, once
so
you're
if that's
done,
the case, we don't really
you
need
got the plugin
do anything
installed.
with this. So
Purchasing
if we go back
discounts,
to WooCommerce,
you could say something
remember
like
under settings,
the premium level
we had
members
an
get
option
20% or
memberships.
10% off of everything.
Then we have members area. Now these are not the
And for this one,
settings
I would just
in
include
terms of
everything.
creating a plan.
So I would
We'll
include
show you that in just a
the
minute.
content, the products,
But
the
these are
discounts,
mainly
and
just
everything.
the global.
And then email content
settings.
is self-explanatory.
So for example,
and that's
redirect
all you
members
have to
upon
do.
login.
So
you can redirect them,
once you are
let's
done
say,
with
to the
that,
members area,
we would click
or
publish
to a very specific page.
or
Click
OK.
You can simply do no redirect.
And there we go.
So if you want to redirect
now what we
people
need to do
say,
is we need to go back to
maybe
WooCommerce,
a community
and we need
page,
to create a product
or an
that
announcements
matches
page.
this.
And you want
so
people
basically
to see that
any paid
first
products
before they
you will need to create
access anything
a
else.
WooCommerce
This is a good option to have.
that is connected over here.
So we're not going to check any
we're
of
going to show you
these.
how to
We're
do
gonna
that
go
in
and
the
create
next
a
video.
membership plan.
Hello and welcome back. This is video number 6, and in this video we're going to show you how to create a product that will match this plan. So in other words, the product is going to be able to take the payment from the customer, and after they pay, they will be sent into the membership plan. So this plan, in other words, will be added to their account. It's really easy. All you have to do is go under products. So you're not going to go here. You're going to go here under products, and then you're going to click add new. Now, I went ahead and opened that in a brand new window because I want to show you, once we're done, something that we'll need to do and come back over here. So you click on add new product, which is what you see right here. And well, we want to name this very similar to this. So I'm going to copy this. So copy, and we're going to paste this like that. And then under product or the visual, you want to enter kind of the description. So the description of the membership plan and the benefits of what people get. All right. So after that, you can choose a product category if you want to. That could be maybe membership plans. So we could do membership plans and do that. And here we go. So at this point, you got the product. So you have a variety of different product types, like simple product, group product, external product, variable product, and course. Now you're not going to see this, like I said, unless you have like something like LearnDash. You're going to simply want to click simple product, click on virtual, and then enter the price. So maybe the regular price is $197, and we're giving everyone a kind of a 50% discount. So that's a nice thing. What in this case, you'll be charging people $97, and they'll see that the regular price is $197. Now, if you were creating courses and you had the LearnDash plugin, you would select the courses that they get access to. Now, in this case, it's simply a membership plan, so we're going to leave that blank. Click on inventory. You're not going to need to fill out any of this information because you just want to make sure that it says in stock. Link products is if you want to link to other upsells and cross-sells. Attributes, you're not really going to need anything. And then we have advanced. Now, advanced you might use if you want to enter a purchase note. So if you want to enter maybe a link that directs people to a certain page, you could add that in here. Or if you want to add a note to somebody on the thank you page, you'll want to enter that here. So I'm going to copy this here because down here is a little bit similar. So we got the product description here. And like I said, you're not going to see WP Fusion on your website unless you're using that. And I mainly use WP Fusion, just so you know, to connect to ActiveCampaign. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to tag people and then, add people and then basically create a customized experience. But to keep it simple, you're not going to see that. So under memberships, this is important. You could say disable restrictions. So check this box if you want to force this product to be public regardless of any restriction. And then of course right here, you select that and we have the registered account here. Now let's see here. Now, one thing to note is it automatically chose free account, but that's not what we're going to need in this account. So what we want to do is we want to add a new rule, select that, and select the plan. So in this case, we're going to just choose premium. And then of course, only members can view or purchase. So what that means is only members of this can purchase this product. So we are going to simply click view because we don't want that to be the case, and they have accessibility to it immediately. So we're going to add that rule, and that simply says give them access to that plan immediately upon purchase. You can use the custom message here if you want to enter kind of a restricted message for this product, or a custom message down here after they've purchased the product. And of course, you're not going to see this. This is simply for my header and footer scripts. So once you're done, you can simply click on publish. And of course, once that is finished, it'll give you access directly to the link to the product. So now you have the link to the product. Now I'm going to refresh this page real quick. And let's see. So remember right here, we have to come back over here since we created the product and say grant access upon purchase product. So in this case, we're going to enter this one here and here and simply select the product plan. So this is the product that we're choosing, and we click on update and we are done. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 7, and this is going to be all about testing. So in other words, how do you make it work? How do you make sure that everything that you set up actually works? Because the worst thing is setting up all the technical aspects, and then when you launch it, you haven't tested it and it doesn't work. And then the customers get frustrated, and then you have to figure out all that. So this is what you need to do to test. So we're going to focus on 2 different levels, since we have the free level and then of course we have the paid level. The free level is a little bit easier. All you have to do is get access to the register page. Now, if you install WooCommerce, typically it will install certain pages like this one right here. So if I go to the register page, so I go under page, find the register page, scroll down, and you're going to see this. So by default, it says give people access to the free plan. Now, you could also create a secondary register page if you wanted to give them access maybe to a different free level. You could do that as well. So we're going to select this and select, select delete selected, and we're just going to leave it as it is. So what you want to do is just grab this link and then test it out. Enter your information, your email, your first and last name, and all whatever it asks you for, and just make sure that you have access to those certain pages. So you want to make sure that you know what pages that you selected. So if you selected 5, do they have access to those 5, or do they have access to everything? If they have access to everything, there is a problem. You have to go back, and it's probably some sort of settings in the restricted content area. If it works, congratulations, you have created a free level that actually works. Now, what about the premium level? Okay, so if we go back over here to, let's say, WooCommerce settings, and then under payments, so it's WooCommerce settings payments, you're going to see this list here. Now, there are a variety of different things on this page, but for the most part, most of you are most likely going to use Stripe or PayPal, or you might use both. Now, in this case, we are simply using Stripe. So I'm going to show you how to go about testing it. Now, if you click on manage, I'm not going to show you those details because this is a live site, but with Stripe, it actually walks you through step by step. You simply will need to get your secret keys and your webhooks and all of that, and it actually talks about it through Stripe. Stripe is actually a really good resource. They're very good at their documentation. So if you ever get lost, they actually have a lot of really good information. So once you've activated your Stripe, whether you did it yourself or you hired somebody to do it, then the next step is to get some test credit cards. So here's what I mean by that. If you go to stripe.com, and it'll be stripe.com/docs. So let me scroll down here so that you can see it better like that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is you go to stripe.com/docs/testing. Stripe.com/docs/testing. You go here and you want to look for some test credit cards. So if you scroll down about 1/4 to the bottom, you'll see card numbers, and you'll see Visa cards, MasterCards, American Express, Discover. So you can test all of these if you want to. Me personally, I would just simply test one, and then of course, see if it actually goes through. Now, in order for this to succeed, your Stripe account needs to be in test mode. So when you go to set things up, there's going to be a little button that says test mode. You want to make sure that that is selected. Once that's selected, you simply just copy one of these card numbers. And then of course it says CVC, any 3 digits, or date, any future date. So all you have to do is simply enter these. So what we need to do is simply go to the product that we created earlier. And then, let's see, let me go up here so that we can zoom in. And then you'll see something like this. So you got the product, you fill out your name and all that, and then what you need to do is simply enter your credit card here. So that would be the 4242, 4242 all the way here, and then the expiration date, which we could just say December like 30, and then the CVC code, just random numbers. Okay, so once you've entered all that information, you just simply select submit and make sure that it actually goes through. And that's all you have to do. It's really easy like that.